In the direction of Lyman, the snow-covered winter landscape turned into a deadly hunting ground. The vast expanse of white snow, devoid of natural cover, highlights every Russian troop movement. It was under these conditions that the SIGNUM Unit of Ukraine's 53rd Separate Mechanized Brigade once again demonstrated its absolute dominance in the air, utilizing FPV drones to hunt down and eliminate Russian infantry exposed in the open terrain one by one, leaving no chance of escape. Footage shared by the SIGNUM unit shows a series of precision strikes carried out without pause, as if the terrain were completely under Ukrainian control. As the footage begins, the FPV drone's camera captures the figures of Russian soldiers stumbling across the snow. There are no trenches or cover, and the black footprints on the white snow provide a clear visual marker for the SIGNUM operator. The drone begins to slowly descend, maintaining a safe distance while locking onto its target. The Russian soldier appears to have realized the threat too late. His movements become panicked, attempting a zigzag run across the completely exposed terrain. Soon, the FPV drone strikes with pinpoint accuracy, a small but deadly explosion instantly cutting off the target's movement, leaving a dark crater in the snow. In a failed escape attempt, the next attack shows another Russian soldier trying to flee after noticing the drone's presence. Aerial cameras show how the infantrymen tried to get away, but the speed of the SIGNUM FPV drone far exceeded human capabilities on slippery terrain. The operator maintains a stable view, adjusting course with pinpoint precision, and the drone dives low, following the target until a critical distance is reached. Without further warning, a direct hit occurs, and the explosion ends the escape attempt, confirming that Lyman's snowy terrain leaves no room for error. Further footage clearly demonstrates the systematic hunt, a cold, organized pattern of operations. While the SIGNUM does not attack randomly, each target is selected, locked on, and eliminated individually. In the footage, a Russian soldier can be seen crouching, possibly trying to hide or observe his surroundings, but from the air, all movement was clearly visible. The FPV drone maneuvered low, approaching from an unexpected angle. By the time the target noticed the shadow above, it was too late. Another explosion shattered the stillness of the snowy terrain, marking yet another successful elimination. The relentless air dominance attack confirmed that this was not a single incident, but rather a continuous activity, and the SIGNUM drone continued to operate, moving from target to target. The Russian infantry scattered across the open terrain appeared disorganized, moving aimlessly and completely overwhelmed by the constant air threat. Each attack was executed with pinpoint efficiency, no return fire, no intervention. The FPV drone swooped in and struck its target with equal precision, capping the series of attacks with deadly results. From this vantage point, this footage serves as stark proof, demonstrating the harsh reality for Russian infantry. Modern warfare in Lyman is dominated by technology and precision. Amidst the silent snow, the SIGNUM unit of Ukraine's 53rd Brigade demonstrated that the FPV drone is more than just a tool. It is a hunting weapon, transforming the snowy terrain into a death zone. Lyman is more than just a front line. It has become a death zone under Ukrainian aerial surveillance. Every detected and exposed step of Russian infantry in the open terrain could be their last this winter. Lyman is more than just cold. It is deadly. As the war in Ukraine drags on, Russia is seeing a sharp increase in deaths. and the mass slaughter of Russian forces in Ukraine shows no signs of slowing. Ukrainian sources report that approximately 20,000 Russian soldiers have already been killed in the first 20 days of 2026 alone. According to the most recent report by the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 1,130 troops were killed in a single day, showing the intensity and ongoing brutality of the conflict. According to the data regularly compiled by Ukrainian authorities and tracked by independent observers, Russian military casualties continue to accumulate at an alarming rate. The figures look not only at fatalities, but also at wounded personnel and those captured. Equipment losses are similarly catastrophic, with thousands of tanks, armored vehicles, artillery systems, and drones reported destroyed since the start of the war in February 2022. Despite repeated denials of these figures from the Kremlin, which is not sharing official data, independent assessments indicate that Russian forces have suffered losses that exceed those of any conventional conflict in Europe in recent decades. Experts warn that if the current pace of Russian losses continues, the Kremlin faces not only a manpower crisis, but also a profound impact on domestic morale and military readiness. The war shows no sign of stopping, with Ukraine determined to reclaim occupied territories and push Russian forces further back. According to the British Ministry of Defense, more than 1 million Russian troops have been killed or injured since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine began on February 24, 2022. Despite the internal challenges, Russia continues to attract contract soldiers with high one-time payments, especially in economically depressed regions. At the same time, Ukraine claims its SBU has caused about $4 billion in damage to Russian air defenses, breaching layered systems and enabling deep drone strikes. Long-range strikes by the Alpha Special Operations Center of the Security Service of Ukraine (SBU) unit have severely damaged key elements of Russia's layered air defense system, with losses estimated at about $4 billion. According to an SBU statement published on Telegram, Ukrainian forces have destroyed or disabled multiple Russian air defense systems over the past year, including S-300, S-350, and S-400 systems, Buk M1 and Buk M2 surface-to-air missile systems, Pantsir S-1 and Pantsir S-2 missile and gun systems, as well as Tor M1, Tor M2, and Tor M3 systems. Russian radar reconnaissance and targeting capabilities have also suffered heavy losses. The SBU said that radar stations critical for detecting air targets and guiding air defense operations were damaged or destroyed, including Nebo-U and Nebo-M radars, Podlyot, Niobium, Kasta-2E2, Gamma-D, and Protivnik-G-E systems, as well as radars integrated into Buk and S-300/S-400 air defense complexes, including the 92N6 radar. This work had a systemic effect. Corridors were broken through in the Russian Federation's multi-layered air defense.